तो ही सेड कर्मवादी इसी को ही पकड़ के बढ़ जाते हैं. The ignorant persons, the worldly persons who are bewildered by this law of nature, they are subject to the nature, they are in the clutches of nature, they cannot get out of it. If you want to go beyond, then you have to condemn this theory, action and reaction. That is what Vedanta says. Naiskarmya siddhi. You have to establish there is no action, there is no reaction. You have to understand and accept and be it, and then only you can go beyond action and reaction. देश और काल से परिचिन्न. Yes, he said, if you accept the karma theory, cause and effect theory, action and reaction theory, you will forget the basement of the substratum of karma theory. Who has started this? Now itself we have discussed it. Attribute, just assumption, just imaginary assumption of the attribute. From there cause and effect theory starts and the world starts. Cause and effect. Beyond that, there is no action and reaction. It was one only. And now he has given the picture of the identity of the ego. When the awareness is aware of itself, there starts this I as the ego. That is the biggest I, universal I, which sees itself in different forms, multiple forms. That becomes Ekoham Bahushyama. I am one, let me be many. Let me see myself as many. That is how the creation starts and grows. So, in no condition you can forget the substratum, where from this ego started and where from this cause and effect started. We have discussed it so clearly just now. So let the ignorant persons not depend upon this theory, then only they can get out of ignorance, that is cycle of world. So he shows Adhisthana should not be forgotten. The substratum, the basic truth should not be forgotten, where from this ego started, and इसी ढंग से कार्य की ब्रह्म में त्रैकालिक सत्ता है. This is how this existence of ego is present in the absolute truth in three periods of time, all the time. All the time there is this ego, and the ego appears to be, and then starts the world phenomena. And now the Kuma Muni gives some example. We shall see it. Yes? Yes. देश और काल से परिचिन्न भेद प्राप्त जल में विद्यमान तरंग आदि जल रूप कारण को लेकर जैसे सहेतुक है, उनकी जल सत्ता से अतिरिक्त सत्ता जैसे नहीं है, वैसे ही देश और काल में अपरिच्छिन्न ब्रह्म में प्रतीयमान जगत सहेतुक नहीं है, क्योंकि तरंगादि स्थल में आंतरालिक जल कारणता के सदृश यहाँ कोई आंतरिक कारण नहीं है। ब्रह्म तो मूल कारण ही है, अतः निहेतुक को पृथक सत्ता कैसे होगी? किसी भी प्रकार से नहीं हो सकती। दिस पॉइंट इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट। ही गिव्स द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ वाटर एंड द वेव्स or the ripples, the modification or the transformation of the same water into the form of the waves. Water becomes waves. Waves are, of course, the formation of water in the water without giving up the nature of water and form of water also. It appears to be something different than the water only by the cause of time and space and transformation. Desha kala paristhiti, time, space and conditions. Because of this, the water appears as if the waves, and yet the waves are not different from the water. The originality is present in both, though water has lost its form as water. It has become the different form. The waves are whirlpools or bubbles. Yet all these different forms are within the water. Water has not left its originality. Water is there, and in 3 periods of time, the waves are also there in the water. They are not different from water. This example we have not to forget at any cost. Here, if we take this example for the truth and this ego-made world, this world is not the real truth. Here the truth has, if the ego you say, it is the transformation of the truth, then the similar nature is not seen here. How? The world is ever changing where the truth is ever constant. The world is visible where the truth is not visible to the senses. In this way, no quality of the truth is found in this creation. So they are not identical, they are totally different. They are totally different from each other. That's how the world has got no basic existence. It just appears. Just as the water in the mirage has no reality, this world is not based on the reality. Or a man, just now you were telling the world is God and God is world. And now you say there is no world at all. World is different from the God. How are they not contradicted to each other? No, my dear, here is the point to be understood thoroughly well. That's how we have brought, in the beginning we have discussed the attribute and the original truth. Now you bring the example of attribute. Say Shibu the boy has taken the form of attribute of Rama. He plays the role of Rama. Rama is so calm and quiet and so mighty fellow, and he went to the jungle to keep up the word truth, whereas all these qualities are not seen in Shibu. Shibu is a naughty boy, and he is ever restless, and he is, of course, he has been trained to be calm and quiet and act like Rama for some time. And Rama is worshipped by everyone. He is the ideal personality. He follows all the rules and regulations of dharma, whereas Shibu is a naughty boy. He never cares for others. He throws stones at his enemies. So in this way, Shibu's nature and Ram's nature are totally different from each other. But for the time being, Rama is attributed on Shibu. So for a short time, he plays the role of Rama, behaving as Rama. But the initial natures are different from each other. Here, the world and the God and the world, they have similar differences. The world has got no base. It is only attribute. That's why we have discussed the attribute and attributed. These two, from this dualism starts, and therefrom that ego starts also. The ego is totally different from the truth. It is not at all there. It appears to be. Just as the water in the mirage, it is never seen, never used by anyone. But it appears. The snake has never bitten any person, which was attributed on the rope. Of course, it creates some fear, but nobody has died from biting of that snake. It is only misunderstanding or ignorance which has caused miseries for you. The fear of the snake only. Snake cannot bite you. The fear has caused the miseries. So now this point should be thoroughly understood. Though we have said ego is nothing but awareness of awareness, where from the ego appears and moves on in a continuous changing process, that is called the creation. And this primordial ego is called the imaginary form of the universal being, that is the creator. It is not at all there. Just as your thoughts and you are totally different from each other, but sometimes you, not sometimes, all the times you identify yourself with your thoughts. The thoughts direct you, command you, and these thoughts become the desires by repetition, and everyone is the slave of the desires. This is how we have been, the reality has been the slave to the desires or thought process. But in reality, nobody has been slave. It appears as if it is. The reality cannot be, it cannot be subject to all these problems, sorrows and worries and these miseries, sufferings. All these which are the nature of the world, they are just imaginary. And we have to establish naiskarmya. There is no karma, there is no karma phal. It is seen only in the cycle of this world, which is not there. Other examples also they give. The cycle of fire, Alat Chakra we say in Sanskrit and Hindi. Alat Chakra, the cycle of the fire, the circle of the fire. See, in a ring of a wire, we make a big ring, and there will be a center, or in the one side of the ring we can put the stick and go on rotating, and in one spot only put some cloths and put some petrol or kerosene, diesel, etc., some fuel there, and lit the fire. And if you go on rotating that ring, the observers, they will see the circle of fire only. They don't see the intervals. When you go on rotating it, revolving the ring, the seers sees the only circle of fire. This is how this unreality becomes reality. The cycle of fire is not there. It is just seen because of the rotation. It rotates continuously. This is how the world changes every moment, so everything becomes stable and world names and forms become visible and they are truth. We take it as the realities because it is changing so rapidly. So the cycle is never seen. And this is how we have to be very, very aware of this untruths of the world, unreality of the world. Because of its changing phenomena, we see it to be real, which is not at all existing. And this is how Naiskarmya Siddhi we can establish the non-doing theory. Nobody does anything. No movement is there. Only the absolute equilibrium, which is known as the truth that exists. The world does not exist at all. If you accept karma theory, then world is there. That changes, and changing phenomena is called karma and karma phal, cause and effect, and that will be real for you. This point should be clearly clear to Sikhidhvaj. That's why Kumbha Muni didn't allow him just to enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. There also this momentum of doubt will be there, then he has to come back again. So that should not be. For that, देश और काल से परिच्छिन्न भेद प्राप्त जल में विद्यमान तरंग आदि जल रूप कारण को लेकर जैसे सहेतुक है, एक ही कारण है उसमें, जल में जो है उसमें तरंग में वही आदि, उनकी जल सत्ता से अतिरिक्त सत्ता जैसे नहीं। तरंग कभी जल से अलग नहीं हो सकता है। The waves cannot be different from the water. They are identical. क्योंकि तरंग आदि स्थल में आंतरालिक जल कारण सत्ता के सदृश, आंतरालिक मीन्स with a difference of time, जल कारणता के सदृश यहाँ कोई आंतरालिक कारण नहीं है। Because of time and space and conditions, the truth has taken the form of world. It is not like that. The truth has never taken the form of the world, but world appears as it is. Which is not there, it appears to be. For this, there are so many examples. We have the water in the mirage, the blueness in the sky, or the movement in the sky. ब्रह्म तो मूल कारण ही है. The truth is the substratum which is causeless cause for everything. अतः निहेतुक की पृथक सत्ता कैसे होगी? So, the truth is never changing and the world is ever changing. Though we say it is the nature of the truth, for saying sake only, the truth has got no nature. In reality, the truth has got no nature. See the example again. I see the hand, my hand, by myself, by my eyes. So I see something other than myself, means the body, which is called the hand. Has the hand any different existence other than the body? This visibility of this other existence is baseless. It is only identical with the body. So different hand is not different. It is the body only. Because in the relative world we have to behave in relationship only. So body has got some relations with the hand, and that relation in true sense, no relation, it is identical. But to behave, to have some movement, we see the hand as different from the body. So world is not totally existing. It has got no different existence other than the truth. In that sense, world is God, God is world. There is no difference. If you see the difference, then world does not exist at all. If you see the hand, hand cannot exist. There is no hand. Two senses, two angles of vision. One is hand is different from the body. The other angle is hand is not different from the body. So from two different angles we see the hand to be different and identical with the body. So this way we have to understand this world is not at all there, and yet world has got different existence. It is imaginary existence and attribute existence, assumption only, superimposition only. In this way we have to understand this world. When this is understood, there is no doer nor enjoyer. There is no renunciate, not renunciation. So there is no acceptance or rejection. The thing is as it is. That's all. These little differences in understanding, when we see from different angles and then all round vision, then only it is clearly clear to us, or else sometimes it appears to be clear, sometimes again it becomes doubtful. We hear contradictory versions and we don't understand that there is no contradiction, only language differs. We have to understand the reality. देश काल परिच्छिन्न सुवर्ण में कटक आदि सुवर्ण रूप कारण को लेकर सकारण हैं। उनकी जैसे पृथक सत्ता नहीं है, वैसे ही देश काल आदि परिच्छेद से शून्य ब्रह्म में विद्यमान निहित जगत की भी ब्रह्म से पृथक सत्ता नहीं हो सकती। Yes, world is there, it is called God. World is there, but world is known as God. It has got no different identity. This is the last conclusion. He gives the example of the ornaments and the gold. The same thing as the water and the waves. Ornaments have no different identity other than the gold. In 3 periods of time, gold is gold, and if you see the ornaments, they are only called gold. For the virgin girl who is ready to get married, it sees the names and forms of the gold. It is bewildered by the designs, but which is not there at all. The goldsmith sees only gold, carat of gold, and the value of gold. He doesn't give importance to the sizes and forms, the designs of the gold. There is a beautiful example on this. A devotee of Ganapati Lalla, our Ganeshji, once he wanted to, before Ganesh Chaturthi, he went to some shop to purchase some form of some idol of Ganesh to be worshipped, and he thought, why to purchase clay Ganesh? I have little more money, so let me purchase a silver Ganesh. I can pay for it. So he goes to the goldsmith's shop, and of course now the season of worship of Ganeshji. So all these goldsmiths, they have made some forms and kept. Now this fellow goes to some shop and asks, my dear, have you got any Ganeshji? Yes, yes. So he gave a small Ganesh, silver Ganesh, and the customer asked, what is the cost of it? Yes, it is 2,000 rupees. Oh, very nice, most beautiful. Okay, take it. pays the money, 2000 rupees, and brings a silver Ganesh, beautiful. He was very happy. While coming in the way, he remembered, oh, I have brought the Ganesh only. I forgot about the mouse. Without the mouse, Ganesh is not complete. He is Vahan. So he goes back and asks the same shopkeeper, my dear, have you got a small mouse? He says, yes, I have. Please give me. So he gives him a golden mouse because he had no silver mouse. It was sold away as a toy for some children. So the customer asks, have you got any mouse? Yes. Give it. He gives the golden mouse and he asks, the customer asks, what is the price of it? The goldsmith says, it is 5,000 rupees. Hi? What do you say? Such a big Ganesh is 2,000 rupees and such a small mouse, it is 5,000. How is it? No, you are cheating me. But the customer, the devotee sees Ganesh and mouse, but the goldsmith sees silver and gold. The gold is more costlier than the silver. So the small mouse is 5,000 rupees, whereas big Ganesh is 2,000 rupees only. In this way, the angle of vision is different from each other. The customer, the devotee thinks it is only Ganesh and mouse, but the vision of the goldsmith is silver and gold. It is not the Ganesh or the mouse. The vision changes. So tomorrow we shall see further how with these examples we have to take the final decision whether the world is there which to be renounced or there is no world. Keep quiet. Don't worry for renunciation or enjoyments. Tomorrow we shall see further. These points are very crucial points, very subtle points. We have to contemplate over it again and again, how this world is appearing before us, whether it is real or unreal, how the unreal becomes real, and how the real becomes unreal, why this vision changes. That is what was asked by Sikhidwaj to Kumbhamuni. Though it is not at all there, I feel it, but it again appears. So what is the cause of it? What is the cause of ignorance? Where from it arises? So Kumbhamuni started explaining in such a beautiful, detailed way. Tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, शब्दा ब्रह्म की जय, सरस्वती महारानी की जय, जोगवशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरे ओ